all the friends know him, Akshaj, right? So he's going to start reading his own book that he's written. His name of the book is Super Mouse. Okay, so you can start.
The main characters of my story are Super Mouse, Cheese Chief, and Cheese Monster. Once upon a time in Mouse City, there lived a mouse. He was not an ordinary mouse. He was a brave and kind mouse. People of Mouse City loved him so much that they also made a building named after Super Mouse. His wish was to the world to be brave no matter what. But he had left the city a long time back as he had lost the battle with Cheese Monster. Dun, dun, dun. It's been a century now since Super Mouse had disappeared. The time passed and the Cheese Chief had been working on how to find out how mousequakes happen in the city. But he had no luck so far. Out of a blue, mousequake happened! Super Mouse! Please come and save us, called the Cheese Chief. This time, he listened to him and came back to rescue. Using his superpowers, the Super Mouse stopped the mousequake. Every mouse cheered, hooray! Suddenly, they all heard a noise. Thump, thump. It was getting louder and louder. It was the Cheese Monster. Dun, dun, dun. Even bigger, stronger, and he also had molten cheese balls. Super Mouse and Cheese Chief were in trouble. They both were thinking deeply as how to get rid of the Cheese Monster. Suddenly, Super Mouse had an idea. I think I know his weakness. Electricity, both of them shouted. I need to go get a mech as big as the Cheese Monster, said the Super Mouse. Super Mouse needed to zap him with the mech. Using his super speed power, he got the mech back. But before he could do anything at all, the Super Mouse got hit by a molten cheese ball. Oof, shouted Super Mouse. He was lying helpless on the ground. He tried hard to get his strength back, and he succeeded. He started to run in circles around Cheese Monster as fast as he could. Seeing that Cheese Monster got dizzy and fell on the ground, wasting no time at all, Super Mouse picked him up and threw him far, far away with his mech. Hooray! Shouted all the happy mice. I think he'll be back, and we should be ready for him, Cheese Chief said. The time was passing by in peace and happiness in our city. Chapter 2. Revenge of the Cheese Monster. After defeating Cheese Monster, Cheese Chief was so happy with Super Mouse that he made a large statue of him in the Most Mouse Museum, which was also named after Super Mouse, of course. As a hero, Super Mouse celebrated his return. He also gifted lots and lots of Swiss cheese to everybody. Now, Super Mouse and Cheese Chief were best of friends. He was also made second in command. One day, when Super Mouse was working in his secret lair, he got distracted by a very familiar noise. He tried very hard to remember it, but he couldn't. It was Cheese Monster! Cheese Monster! Dun, dun, dun. They are so small, cried the Super Mouse. Though they were small, there were tons of them. Super Mouse was pleasantly surprised to see that Cheese Chief had come to help him defeat the Cheese Monster, of course. Super Mouse and Cheese Chief tried to hold him off, but it was of no use. Whoa, what were they going to do now? The ground began to shake. All of the mini cheese monsters came together to make one huge cheese monster. Now the cheese monster was as tall as a 10,999 foot tall building. His head was nearly above the clouds. Super Mouse ran towards the secret room to get his mech and super suit, but the cheese monster threw a huge boulder at the entrance. The boulder was about 90 feet tall. No mouse had been ever that tall. Cheese Monster dropped a huge cheese bomb, and in his booming voice he said, "Sorry, I've got a plane to catch." Ha ha ha. A huge plane flew over him, and the biggest rope fell down. The Cheese Monster hung onto the rope and took off. Cheese Monster was going to the pyramids to steal the ancient diamond to get more power. "No!" cried the Super Mouse. "We need to defuse the bomb to save the city and also go after it." "But how?" Super Mouse still did not have his super suit. "I've never told you this, but I have a secret shredding claw vehicle to cut the rock open. Use that to get through the boulder and I will take care of the bomb," said the Cheese Chief. Super Mouse used the claw vehicle to cut the rock open. Super Mouse got his suit and said, "The chase is on." He flew off to the pyramid in search of the Cheese Monster. He landed on the biggest pyramid and went inside. He could not find anything but a note that had some secret language. "What does that mean?" asked the Super Mouse. He went further into the pyramid and finally reached the center. He got trapped in a net. The Cheese Monster was bursting with laughter in front of him. "The note was fake," said the Cheese Monster. Out of the blue, Cheese Chief burst into the pyramid with the tank. Super Mouse fell out of the net when he burst in. He had got his whole team too. Cheese Chief told his men to distract the Cheese Monster. Super Mouse sneaked from behind and pushed the Cheese Monster into the quicksand. Cheese Monster fell down in a thump in a quicksand and started sinking. Everybody watched him go deep down into the quicksand. In the end, all were saved by a very good team. Rightly said, all is well that ends well.